What's up, everyone? Drew, aka Catching Rockets here. I hope y'all are having a good afternoon, having a good weekend. Hopefully, you were able to attend the class today. I feel like it was very informative. I feel like we were able to cover English. I feel like we were able to cover quite a bit on entries and exits on trades. With that said, on Friday, basically everything we were planning didn't happen because we gapped down massive, right? However, it did do really what we were looking for. I believe on Thursday I said I didn't really have very many bullish scenarios. Most of what I was looking at was going to be bearish. I'm sorry, my son is yelling in the background for some reason. Anyway, we had a very bearish Friday. I think tomorrow is most likely going to be bullish due to where we started bouncing on the chart. With that said, as far as the gapping down live, we called out some stuff. I called out puts right here at the previous week value area low. There was quite a few confluences saying it was a good entry. We had volume decreasing as we were approaching resistance. They did, put us red for a minute here, but our entry was here. Our take profit level was right here at this candle, and that got hit right there. And then I believe right around this time we also switched into calls. And with those calls, our first target was here. And because we had a poor high here at the top, our second target was the July POC. Both of those hit. When we hit the July POC, we moved our stop loss to here. And then our target became the poor low up at the top where we would have switched into puts. However, this didn't play out in our favor. It did in the sense that we were green on the trade, but we didn't get the poor low. I think those are all of the trades that I called out on Friday, but I could be wrong. I feel like we called out more than that, it feels like. But that's all that I remember right now, at least. With that said, I'm going to start erasing stuff and we will go over the chart and figure out what we're watching for tomorrow. Really quickly, for people that are here for options, I don't have any options to share with you today. To be frank, I just didn't have time to look at anything. I did class this morning, and then I was feeling like super tired, so I took a nap. And I set my alarm for like an hour ago, so I could, or actually earlier than that, 2 hours ago, so I could get up and go live with you guys. And my alarm went off, and I turned it off and went back to sleep. I don't know what's going on with me, but I am so tired. Anyway, let's start by zooming out because I don't want to forget. And let's look at our July levels. I feel like I keep saying that I need to make sure that they're good. Okay, they are. This is July here. So we are good on that, except this is no longer a virgin POC. Like literally first day of the month, it gets hit hard. From here, let's go to our weekly chart, or 65 minutes, and get our weekly levels. It looks like I forgot to do my weekly levels last week. That's interesting. All right, there's weekly. We can also draw SIGs on the last 2 weeks here. Now let's go to 30-minute. Let's do our daily levels. All right, that should be good. Just making sure they're accurate. All right, good stuff. All right, TPO should be pretty simple. We have single prints here at the top. Down to there. And then we've got single prints down here at the bottom. All right. Lastly, let's draw SIGs for the last 2 weeks. Trying to figure out if I should address the whole my channel thing in Keenan's Discord. Whoa. What's up, brother? Thank you so much, Kobe. That's insane. I hope all's good with you, bro. Yeah, I wish you would come hang out in the chat more. Miss you, bro. Miss you. Seriously. Miss talking with you. Anyway, I really hope all is well. Thank you, Christian. Yeah, I feel like we should talk about it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to chart everything and then basically cover the entries I'm looking for. And then anybody that's not interested in that can leave. And I'll talk about it then. Oh, that's awesome. Where have you traveled? My wife has bugging me. Before me and my wife met, she would travel all the time. And since we've been together, we really haven't traveled much at all. Um, all right. Oh, nice. That's awesome. My wife's really wanting to go back to China. And I mean, I get it. Like, she hasn't been able to see her family for a long time. So, all right, there's all of our levels. Let's look at what futures are doing. I'm pretty sure we kind of opened in the same range as far as I understand, and we're just kind of slowly grinding up. Yeah, so this is the open here, and they've just been pushing. And basically, everybody that I know is already in long. Um, and I feel like it's a great spot to be in long. I talked about this today on the class. You know, like your single print mid is really where you want to get in. And we've already tapped again, and now that we're opening, you know, they're probably going to push from there. I would expect them to come up to here, 302, 305-ish. However, I would probably be closing just at that 300 psych level if I was in this. We do have a strong high here. So, with that said, closing right through here would not be terrible. But I have a pretty strong feeling they're going to be coming up to here. So, all right, let's zoom out on SPY and see where we're at. And then we'll look at our news. So pretty wild candle, very bearish, obviously. With you know, on our daily, we have a strong low here, right? And if you look, like the last time they did something like this, like here, we bounced pretty good. Then they did it here, we bounced even harder, right? I would expect a pretty good bounce from this. I also think we're going to be coming back to this zone eventually, but not today. Not tomorrow. Let's check out news for tomorrow. Let's check out our fear and greed index. We should just be in fear at the moment, I would guess. Or I mean in greed, sorry. Not extreme greed. Oh, no, not neutral. Really? I don't know how that's possible. Like, did it not load? No, it's literally neutral. That's wild. We went from extreme greed, like I think on Monday, to greed throughout the week, and now we're back to neutral, which is wild. Let's check our news really quick for tomorrow. Shouldn't be much of anything going on. Yeah, we don't have really anything that we need to be worried about. Let's check just Tuesday. Couple of things Tuesday. Really not much of anything on Monday. I mean on Wednesday, sorry. Daily speaking. Thursday, England's got a bunch of stuff. Then we also have unemployment claims. Wow, pretty slow week. There's a couple things here and there, but really not much of anything. Nothing we need to be worried about, particularly tomorrow. So, with that said, let's load up our cluster charts and let's look at our high volume nodes and imbalances. Give this a second here to load. Oh, Colby, if you're still around while I'm waiting for this to load, I should show you this. Wait, where is it? This is just wild to me. And no, I share stuff like this with you guys because you're like family to me. This is crazy.
How did I stand here?
I think she's so focused on what she's watching. She's watching like cartoons, YouTube,
Go, let's go.
that she's just chilling, standing. I mean, she's been pulling herself up, you know, on tables and chairs and whatever else and standing there holding stuff. But this is the first time she's just stood there for like 30 seconds. Wild stuff. Anyway, I'm sure she'll be walking very soon. All right, so like always, when this is open, I can't really see the chat, just an FYI. But let's find our high volume nodes, and then we'll talk about the changes. And when I say this, like, I'm not even fully aware of what's happening as far as Keenan's. But I'll explain, you know, basically what I do know. All right, let's get into this here. Oh, I need to switch this. Well, actually, let me just look at the imbalances while I'm on imbalances, even though I don't think there's anything significant that is interesting me at this point. There is not. We've cleaned all of them up. Switch to single. So basically, nothing different to what we talked about in the class this morning when we're looking at this. Like I told you guys, I don't have any secret sauce, you know, like I don't withhold information or anything. So everything I taught is the same stuff that I'm looking at. So this is pretty interesting here. They might actually reject from here. This is 6278 up to 6282. 6283. First things first, I need to clean up just a little bit here. I don't think this is going to help us for tomorrow, because it's probably going to play out right now, whatever it's going to do. But this is a fairly large cell site high volume node. And as we speak right now, they're retesting this level. And I also feel like we just kind of talked about this, right? We have the strong high here. So with that strong high, we know that we need to be closing that trade really like through here, right? But in this case, we have a little bit of bonus information saying that we've got a large sell side imbalance or sell side high volume node. So a rejection here would not be too surprising. Let's keep looking for some that might actually affect us during regular trading hours. My whole house is like, let's be as noisy as possible. I don't know if you can hear it, but the baby's crying. $15 to $18. Oh, and I haven't talked about this yet, but for people with the doctorate tier on Keenan's, I'll be trading live in the morning. So there is that. So this here, I think we've already, oh yeah, I deleted this area because we've already traded off of this. Again, this is, if you were live with me on the class, we did the math just on this area right here. Actually, let's just do it again really quick for people that weren't in the class. So if you understand ES, it's $12.50 per tick. Tick size is 25 cents. So ES moves in 25-cent increments, meaning that you have like basically like 63.74. Then you have 63.74.25, 0.50, 0.75, and then you go to 63.75. I think I said 4, but anyway, basically 4 quarter moves, and then you go to the next dollar, right? So every 25 cents is $12.50. You multiply that by 4, which gives you 50. And then you would multiply that by the current price, which at this level, ES was 63.75. So we multiply that by 63.75. So one contract, if you're not on margin, would be $318,000 at this level. Multiply that by our 26,908 contracts, and on just this single area right here, 8,600,000 or 8,600,000,000 was traded at this level, just right here, this one little square. And we have just massive orders all through here. This is institutional buying. Of course, there's retail mixed in here, but this is institutional buying. And what we were talking about on the class today, when you see orders of this size, at that point, you don't know if it's buyers or sellers. So what you're waiting for is full body candles to open and close either above or below that level. If it's below, like in this instance here, when we come back to it, we know that's the area to hop in puts or to get in short, right? If they open and close above, when we come back to it, that would be the area to get in long or get in calls. So when we come back to here, I'll probably still be interested. Um, but it's already been tested one time, so I would be looking more for like a slice through and then come back down, and get puts like when we cross back below it. Um, but is it worth having on my chart? 371 to 377. Okay. All right. So with that said, now let's try to transfer this over to our SPY chart. We also covered this, on our class today. So basically, this zone here is the 945 candle wick, right? So let's go to 5 minutes. So something like that. Again, right now we're testing this, so I mean, we sold off from here, came back and touched it, and then touched again. So there's a chance they might break through. But as of right now, they're rejecting off of it. But I think by the time morning comes, we're probably not going to be worried about this area here, but we'll see. All right, our next area is going to be, let's see. $505 candle down to the 515 body. And our last one that I don't think we're going to be worrying about tomorrow, but we'll put it on there just in case. 1255, basically the wick from 1255. And then I'll also give you guys the levels for those. So this first one here, 623.14 to 623.59. This one here, 626.68 to 626.99. And then finally, this one up here, 631.98 to 632.49. Okay. Sorry, I just realized something. I need to change this to weekly. All right. This here is pretty wild in the sense that if we come down to the third sig, we really need to be hopping in right there in calls. However, if they give us an equal low with our single prints here, we also need to be in calls. So if we're getting in here, our stop loss needs to be at least slightly below the single prints, and then probably targeting this sell side high volume node. All right. So I need you guys to do me a solid. Actually, I'm not even going to mark it. Pay attention to how many times we hit this area in the overnight session. So I would just highly suggest getting your ES chart, marking this zone, 62.78 to 62.83. And, if we keep hitting it, rejecting, whatever, finally break through, ignore this tomorrow. For people that will be trading live with me, you don't need to worry about marking it on ES and paying attention. I'll talk about it in the morning. But for now, this is a potential area to get puts. But again, I feel like this is going to get abused in the overnight session right now. And it's probably going to be worn out by the time the morning rolls around and the New York session opens. But we need to play it by ear. With that said, I would be interested in puts here. Basically single print mids all the way up to the sell side high volume node. Yeah. Oh, actually, really quickly, sorry. Let me close this other chart. We no longer need this. And then that way I can see the chat. There we go. Hey, what's up, Nora? Excuse me. Irving halfway through volume profile, what are some key things I should focus on? Focus on reading the whole book first and foremost. Once you've read the whole book, I'll just show you on the screen. Once you've read the whole book, I don't think the book correlates page-wise with the PDF version, but you want to find strategy 1, which happens to be on page 25 of the PDF, and you want to memorize this. You want to memorize this. You want to memorize this, and you basically want to memorize all the way down to, I believe, page 60. So this is really important. Our pin bars, strong highs, strong lows, and also our weak highs, weak lows. He explains basically when you have a strong high that you need to exit your position before the strong high. Same thing with a strong low. And when you have a weak high, you expect price to break through. This is important. This is literally what we talked about this morning in class, where how to use that information to find entries, and also how to figure out where to exit your trades. But basically, you want to go through and memorize all the way to, trying to see if he shows it. But anyway, you want to memorize all the way to, I think that's it. You want to memorize all the way to this page here. So right after this information, this page 50, 51-ish. So on the PDF, page 25 to 51, you want to memorize. But again, read the whole book first. Yeah, areas I figure it's getting abused right now. And like I said, I think this is going to be an area that we're not even considering tomorrow. But as of right now, I've got to have it on the chart. And we'll see what they do in the overnight session. But yeah, right now, they're beating the hell out of it and looking like they want to break and go higher. And also, now we have a poor high right here at the top. And so they're probably going to want to smash through that and go even higher. So they might be targeting this zone up here. So this right here is looking a lot like support turned resistance, right? So don't be terribly surprised for them to do this. Okay. Yeah. All right, so this is really my focus tomorrow. Like I said, I'll be live. I'll be posting the information soon. Yeah, Sarah, I'm not a huge fan of audiobooks, but to each their own. I feel like with audiobooks, a lot of people basically turn on the audiobook and do something else. And the audiobook is basically their way of like, oh, I'm studying, and to feel good about themselves, but they're focused on something else while they're listening to the audiobook. So their attention is not really on the audiobook. And then I'm going to have people that are going to come back and say, oh, but I'm dyslexic and I have a really hard time reading, or, oh, I have ADD and I have a really hard time reading, and, oh, I have this, and, oh, I can't concentrate, oh, I can't focus. So, um, for one, I'll say most people that say they're dyslexic are full of crap because they've never actually been tested. But some are legit. So me, myself, and you'll never hear me talk about this from a woe is me pity party kind of way, but I am dyslexic, like very dyslexic. I was tested by a clinical psychologist when I was 12 years old, and they discovered that I was very severely dyslexic, which was why I was struggling so hard in school. High IQ, intelligent, but dyslexic as hell. And so for me, reading is extremely difficult. I'll read the same sentence or the same chapter, same page in a book 10 times. Like I'll literally read the sentence 10 times until I actually fully grasp what is being said in that sentence. That's the way that I have to read. However, I don't make excuses for myself because of that, right? I feel like I don't want to say that like my struggle's harder than anyone else's, but there might be people whose struggle is equal to mine, and maybe the odd person here and there where it's worse than mine. But I really have to reread over and over and over and over again the same paragraph, the same line, the same page, whatever, until I really grasp what's being said in whatever book it is that I'm reading. But I also know myself well enough. If I turn on an audiobook, I'm going to start doing something else, and I'm not really going to be focusing on the information that's being projected, and I won't get it. So, if you have a struggle, that's cool. I would suggest keep it to yourself. The only reason I'm talking about mine is for the people that want to come and say, "Oh, but I can't focus" or whatever. Blah, blah. Like, I don't want to hear it. Like, nothing personal. Just from my perspective, I have a really hard time reading, but I don't use it as an excuse for myself. And again, the only reason I'm talking about it right now is because I'll get a million DMs of, "Oh, but I can't focus for this reason or this and that." And I get it. I have a really hard time reading and focusing as well. But you'll never hear me complaining or whining about it. I just do it. Like, I'll sit down, I'll grind, I'll read that book, I'll reread the same page 15 times if I have to. And that's it. That's what I've got to do. That's what was given to me by God. And if I want to learn this, I damn well got to buckle down and do it. And nobody's going to do it for me. So again, I'm not trying to be unsympathetic. I definitely have sympathy for people like myself that struggle with reading. But you don't use it as an excuse. You exactly what Aries just said. You persevere, you overcome, and you do what you got to do to come out on top, and that's it. And basically, bottom line, don't whine in my DMs about it because I'm right there with you. Okay. But there, obviously there is like the odd person where reading is just so overwhelmingly difficult that audiobooks is the way to go. And if you're that person, then you have a different struggle, which is you need to basically sit down and move everything away from yourself, your phone, whatever else, and actually sit down and focus and take notes and really pay attention and not let your mind stray off and, like start cleaning the house or whatever else. Like, you actually have to sit there and sit through everything, and make sure that you're not getting distracted by other things while you're learning, right? But I would say for the average person, you just have to persevere through the struggle of reading if it is difficult for you. And if it's like overwhelmingly impossible, then the audiobook is a great alternative. Just, again, make sure you're not getting distracted by other things. with all of that said, I'm quickly going to post a screenshot of this. When I'm not going to worry about screenshotting this up here right now, but when we do get up here, this level is pretty stacked. Everything's kind of overlapping, but we have our weekly second sig, weekly third sig, poor high, and then I believe the weekly value area, or is that their daily value area high? I can't. It's got to be the weekly. Yeah, previous week value area high. So I'm going to take a picture, or a screenshot, I should say, of the area where I really think we have to be worrying about trades, which is through here. I will post this in Keenan's. Unfortunately, I'm going to be posting it in my channel, so if you don't have access, you're not going to see this. But I will also drop it in calls and puts. It's just going to be harder to find, right? Because it's going to get lost in the chat. That's going to be it for basically the whole charting section of this. If you guys have a question, now would be the time to ask. Oh, and Robert, I need to message you about a computer. Sorry. I've had a pretty busy week, and I keep on looking at your text message when I'm not at home. And then when I am at home, I keep forgetting about it. But I'll what do you mean? You have to pay that toll? Don't not pay the toll. If you remember, I tried to pay it for you, but it wasn't available yet, so I wasn't able to pull it up to pay it for you. And you have 5 days to pay it. So let me post this really quick. Oh, that's crazy. We'll just use that website I gave you. You shouldn't be making more money with bigger size. Dominic Clark. You have to trade within your means, and if you're using larger sizing, you're probably getting scared even when you are green. Robert, it's not Bay Area Fast Track. It's 5 days, and I gave you the link. You've got to pay it, bro, or they're going to send you a ticket. Okay, so I'll touch on what Dominic said really quickly. If you're oversizing in a trade, for a lot of people, let's just say I take MES, right? And I don't know, what's a good example? Let's just say I'm in calls from here, or long from here, and I'm targeting the previous week VPOC. So I'm targeting something like this. And if I took, let's say, 5 MES, right? When this happens, on these little downswings, whatever, I'm having $50 fluctuations on my contract. And when I get here, let's just say I'm in $500 profit, right? Well, if you're oversizing with ES, these little downswings you're losing like $500 or whatever, $250 of your profits, where it starts to look scary, right? And let's just say at this point you're up $1,000, and then it goes down to 750, and then you're up 1,200, and it goes down to 900, and so on and so forth. Seeing like your contract losing $50 is way less than like seeing your contract go down by $250 or $500 on these little downswings. Bro, Robert, you can't wait till tomorrow. I think it might even be too late already. Yeah, you came over Monday, and it's a week later. That's or 6 days later. You've got to do this right now and hope that they haven't mailed you a ticket. If they did mail you a ticket, I would call them and be like, oh, sorry, I live in the Bay Area. We have 30 days to pay. And they might tell you like, oh, we'll give you like a one-time pass and not fine you. I would hop on right now and pay it. But so anyway, the downswings are much bigger when you're oversizing. And then what ends up happening is because we're oversizing, we no longer feel confident, like once we're green on the trade, to play our plan. But when we're red on the trade, we keep praying for it to reverse and go in our favor. And eventually you just end up hitting a big stop loss because you're over positioning. You have to be comfortable with the downswings when you're in a trade because it's inevitable, right? Like price is going to retrace and retrace. Like price never goes straight up or straight down. And so if these little downswings feel uncomfortable when you're in a long position, you're never going to make it to your target, but you're always going to hit 100% of your stop loss when the trade goes against you. That's probably the issue that you're running into. All right. Anyway, for now, done with the whole charting thing. Let's go ahead and talk about Keenan's Discord. And again, I don't have too much more information than what you guys have, other than a lot of people are struggling with understanding what's going on, right? So directly from Keenan, and then directly from one of the mods, or actually admins, I should say, I was told, because like initially I was feeling pretty frustrated. I'm trying to choose my words correctly, wisely, because I don't want anything that I'm saying to be misconstrued for something that it's not. So my initial reaction was that... Actually, let me just show the Discord so I can kind of explain. So normally, like for anything that I'm posting, where I want it to be in one place that's clean and concise, where people can reference it, and it doesn't get lost in the chat. For example, right now, my chart for tomorrow, this is going to get buried, right? And so anybody that doesn't have the tier that shows the Dean's list, you're not going to be able to find this chart in a clean and concise manner. You're going to have to dig through this chat and try to find it, right? And then for anything that was at the tier from before, like for the doctorate level tier where people were grandfathered in or were at the current like price plan. Anything private, basically, I would be posting in here, right? Well, now I don't have, again, like a clear, clean, precise place to put everything for everybody on the Discord to be able to see. Only the people at this tier level are going to have that. Again, like I said, like you won't be able to see this. And so my initial reaction was a little bit of frustration, right? Because to me, it just didn't make sense. But with that said, I've always respected Keenan. I've always trusted Keenan, and I trust his vision, right? And so initially, I reached out to one of the admins because I didn't want to, like me and Keenan do talk from time to time, but in my eyes, he's a very busy man, and I'm not trying to, like blow him up all the time. So I reached out to somebody that I knew would have information that I could talk to without bothering Keenan. And they basically told me, basically, and again, like I have to be careful with my words because I don't want to misrepresent what they said. But they basically told me, Keenan is making some changes to the Discord. They didn't tell me what they are. And he handpicked you, you being me, to be part of the Dean's List because he feels like my content is too valuable basically to be diluted and like shared at the lower pricing level. Was the verbiage kind of that I was told. And they said, if you're really against it, then, and actually I should say my initial thing was like, can I just have two channels then, right? One where I'm only sharing information for that doctorate level tier and one where I can still post like, going live on YouTube. Here's my chart for tomorrow, whatever, like, basically a private channel and a public channel for all of the people that are not grandfathered in Irving. So nobody's being grandfathered into that tier. So OGs do not have access to the Dean's List. It's only going to be people that are paying the current price for the Dean's List that will have access to that area. So yeah, you won't be able to see it unless you upgrade your membership. And to that question, like, can I have like a public channel and then the Dean's List channel? The reply was, we can move you back down with the Crown Traders. We can leave you where you are, but you can't do both. And that Keenan handpicked you for this reason, that he feels like the content that you provide is way too valuable to be basically given away at the lower price. And basically, without even a second's thought, I said, that's fine. Just leave me where I am. Leave the channel where it is. If that's, if I was handpicked by Keenan, I'm going to trust his vision. I'm going to trust the direction that he's taking with the Discord. And I'll be along for the ride, whatever that is, right? I'm also going to say very quickly, nobody's done this. But if anybody feels the need to say something negative about Keenan, do not do it in my YouTube channel, please. This is not a place to bash anybody, okay? And again, nobody's done anything. I just want to make sure that doesn't happen. If you don't agree with what he's doing, that's fine. You're welcome to your opinion. And you can say that respectfully, but don't say anything like super negative pleas in my YouTube chat. So, basically, Triple G, if you don't know what's going on, then you're going to have to rewind and watch. But so basically, presented with that information, like this was Keenan's vision, this is what he thought, and didn't want basically my information, which he feels is too valuable to be given away at the lower pricing. I said, okay, like I'm on board. And the one thing I will say is, like, for myself as a person, when Keenan's first started like introducing the higher pricing levels and stuff, I wasn't really on board, right? But the same thing that I'm feeling now, I was like, I've been following Keenan for a long time, and so far he's never led me astray. And at the end of the day, like, I might not initially see his vision, but I eventually see his vision and it makes sense, right? And so looking back to like when Keenan initially changed all of the pricing and stuff, again, like, I wasn't 100% on board, but I'm like, I'm going to trust him that it's going to turn out good. And I feel like it did. He has put into place some really good crown traders that have been going live. So before it was just Keenan going live, whatever, Tuesday and Thursday mornings. And now you have crown traders going live, trading with you guys. Before it was only Keenan doing classes. Now you have crown traders doing classes. I feel like he basically just keeps adding more and more and more value to the Discord. And with that said, I'll understand, like, for some people it's not affordable. That's fine. Like, I get it. And like, you could argue if you're one of the people that can't afford it, that it sucks for you. I would agree with you. It does. But, like anything in life, you have to put, like, a price tag that's fair for the people devoting their time and their energy. And then you also have to put a price tag that's fair for the people paying for that, paying for those services. I will also say, if it's not affordable, then, like I always say with trading, you don't need to pay anybody to learn. You can grab some books. I cover the content for free here on my channel, education. I don't have any, like, hidden secrets or anything. I keep everything, free and accessible. But when you have like an actual live trading session with somebody, or you have like a live class with somebody where you can ask questions, like, that has to come at a price where you're, basically that person is being reimbursed for their time. And so that's what it's really coming down to, right? And yeah, the Discord's getting more expensive, but still, compared to a lot of Discords out there, it's pretty cheap. And I think so far, like, the value that's being provided based on all of the changes that Keenan is making it better and better and better. EBOB, yes, Intel leaps are still good. Worst case scenario, Intel goes out of business and gets bought out by whatever, AMD, for their patents. So, and then when that happens, those Intel calls go through the roof. They're really, in my eyes, there's not a lose-lose, just win-win. There's not a win-lose on those leaps. Basically, if Intel as a company recovers and manages to get back on their feet, then those calls should pay off. If they don't get back on their feet, their intellectual property is worth so much that some bigger chip manufacturer is going to buy them out just to get access to their intellectual property, which will then again send the stock price soaring through the roof. Jay's trade, he's not raising. He did raise quite a while ago. But when he did it, he grandfathered everybody in. And now you can still be grandfathered in. You're just not going to have access to one section of the Discord, which is the Dean's List. So yeah, that's it. I don't know what else to say about it because I don't really know much else, right? Again, for me, when I'm basically asked, like I said, initially my reaction was like frustration because I feel like now I don't have a good place to share the public information that I want to share. But when given the option of trusting what Keenan is doing or having my channel move back with the other crown traders, I chose to trust what Keenan's doing. So that's what I'm doing, And I think Colby's gone, but, like Colby learned from me. Most of the crown traders, not all of them, but a lot of them learned from me. And a lot of them will say, like, oh, like I'm here because of rockets or whatever. Like they got to the level that they're at from learning from me. Yes, Big P, I'm on the Dean's List now. And just to be clear, that's not going to be, the Dean's List is not going to be grandfathered in for anybody. So, that's what it is. I'm sure things will, get ironed out. I do know that eventually they're going to be putting out like a message explaining everything that they're doing, but there's still, what's it called? They're still making changes to the Discord. There's still things that they're working on. And so they haven't made an official announcement yet on the changes that are taking place. But eventually there will be an official announcement. I'm sure it's not too far away. That will probably give a better insight as to exactly what is happening. Again, like I said, I'm not even privy to this information. So like, I don't know where they're taking things, what they're doing, what the plans are behind the scenes. I didn't know any of this was happening until whatever it was. Like, I think like I woke up this morning and I was like, what? Like, where's my channel? So literally like I wasn't told anything. It was just done. And I was kind of shocked. And then I think, it was yesterday, right? It happened yesterday. So for me, I probably messed things up because, I wanted to do a class yesterday and I ended up not doing the class yesterday because I didn't know where to post the information. Right. I sent a message in the calls and puts chat asking if people could see my channel now under the Dean's List. And of course, most people were like, no. And then people that are at that tier were like, yeah, I can see it. And so then it kind of like caused some commotion because people realized like now channels had been moved. And the reason that I was asking if people could see it was because I wanted to do a class and I was going to post the information in my channel like I would normally do. But because things were moved, I was pretty sure that, the older people in the Discord that were at the, the lower pricing or that were grandfathered in would not be able to see my channel. But I wanted to make sure before I started posting information there. So, again, that's all the information that I have. I can't tell you more because I don't know more. I'm not, what's it called? I'm not on the inside of Keenan's Discord with the admins or whoever else where these conversations are taking place. So, yeah, I have, maybe just a tiny bit more information than the rest of you do, but really not very much. And what I do know, I've shared with you guys. I don't, like I'm not keeping any secrets or anything like that. I'm pretty sure most people know that's not my, that's not my jam. Like, I'm pretty real and revealed and raw, and don't really hold back. Don't hold back on my feelings or whatever else. If I see a scammer, I'm going to call out a scammer. If I see injustice, I'm going to call out injustice. And if I fuck with whatever's happening, I'm going to fuck with whatever's happening. I'm going to call it out. And with that said, 100%, I rock with Keenan. No questions asked. Again, big picture, he's really, got everybody's best interest in mind. But also realizes that, he can't keep giving it all away for the lower price, that people are being grandfathered in with. And so that's that, and we've got to pivot, and move and do whatever we got to do. You either decide as a person, like, hey, I want to pay that higher price for, because you feel like whatever is up there is valuable. Or you figure, no, that's too much for me, or it's unaffordable. And, I'm going to go my own way and do my own thing. And that's your prerogative, that is your right. Yeah. Well, I appreciate that, Colby. And, yeah, I know you're also, I haven't like heard this or seen this or whatever, but I know you're also, growing with, Gator over there. So that's cool. Yeah. That's it. No, Irving. Nobody's going to be grandfathered into the Dean's List area. You'll be grandfathered into what you still have access to, but the Dean List is only going to be for people paying at the current pricing. Okay. So far, that's Keenan's premium alerts, the live trading for Keenan on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Looks like there's Sunday coaching calls. My room, Lisa's room, Spy King Key's room, Hawk's room. I don't know who Hawk is. And that's it. Okay. Thank you, Roberto. No, AG, I am not. I don't do Discords, meaning I'm never going to have a Discord server. I have I have a server where people that paid like a one-time fee were able to join. And we did a mentorship, like a group mentorship in there. But that's the extent of it. I'm not going to ever have like a Discord where there's a month-to-month fee and where I trade live daily, or whatever else. Like that'll just never happen. So
that's not something that I'll ever do. Um, or I should not say never ever, but it's just very highly unlikely. And if I did do it, it would be pretty inexpensive, month to month. But again, it won't happen for the reason that when I was learning trading, I met Shorty. He took me under his wing. He mentored me for free. I feel like I owe the man so much. Completely changed my life. Completely changed my income. Like, changed everything. And I am an extremely loyal person. And so for that reason, I will be forever loyal to Shorty. And as long as he has a Discord server and wants me to be a part of it, that's where I will be, trading live Monday through Friday, basically. I'm also extremely loyal to Keenan. And same thing. I have not, Jay. No. I've tried, what's it called? So Apex, Top Step, and right now I'm with, is it True Blue? TURBLU, I believe. But no, I haven't tried Take Profit Trader. But I do know a lot of people that have and or are using Take Profit Trader, and they're very happy with them. So if you're asking for the purpose of if it's worth trying, definitely worth trying. I know a lot of people that are very happy with them. So definitely worth checking out. But so yeah, basically, long story short, as long as Shorty has a Discord server, I don't see any reason for me to open my own Discord server because I don't have the time to devote to it. My time is devoted to Shorty's Discord server and Keenan's Discord server. And between those two, I don't have time to be anywhere else. So, Maddie Blue, stay connected with what? I'm kind of giving Maddie a second to answer here. I'm not sure. You're saying to stay connected with me and Shorty. So we're always going to be here on YouTube. If you're interested in joining Shorty's Discord, which you just asked for that information, I'll post it right now. And actually, one thing I'll say before I post this, I don't share this information very often because my YouTube channel is not about selling Discords. But if you feel like the value is there, for Shorty's Discord, to trade with us live, to have access to us, to ask questions, whatever, our education, our teachings, of course, you're more than welcome to join. But so I don't try to make my YouTube channel about selling a Discord, though. But since somebody asked, there's the link if you're interested. Yeah, of course, the classes will still be on Discord. I'm sorry, the classes will still be on YouTube, yes. Nothing about my YouTube channel is changing. So, yes, that will still be there. So let me give you Keenan's Discord link. Shorty's Discord, I don't remember exactly. It's like just shy of $100 a month, like $99.95 or something like that, or 99. I don't remember exactly, but it's again just shy of $100. For Keenan's, for month to month, use this link. For annual, which is like 40% off, you would use the second link. So there's all of that. Yeah. Yeah, so again, no changes to my YouTube channel. I'll still be doing classes here, still be giving away the information for free. We will still be going over SPY charts daily. I will still be going over option trades when I have time to actually look at charts. All of that will still be there. Basically, the only thing that's going to be private will be like live trading, which I do on Zoom now. Or on Shorty's Discord, I try to trade Monday through Friday. The last, I don't know, like month or two, I haven't been trading daily like I like to because my work schedule has been insane. But when my work schedule is normal, I try to trade Monday through Friday morning on Shorty's Discord. And then Keenan's, I generally will trade live Monday morning. And for people that are at the doctorate tier, I'll be trading live tomorrow morning. On Keenan's, I'll also be live on Shorty's Discord. So, yeah. I'm kind of just hanging out right now in case people have more questions, because I really want this to be kind of the last time that I talk about changes in Keenan's Discord. And the reason that I want it to be the last time is that I don't have more information than what I'm sharing. But if people have questions, I'm happy to answer them now, but pretty much want to be done with this whole conversation. I know for a lot of people, with the changes, with change, there's always like a little bit of stress. And even for myself, there's been stress of people asking me the same question over and over and over again of where my channel is and what's happening and so on and so forth. I have a DM right now where they're literally asking me where my channel is. What do you mean by post SPY charts here? This is the SPY chart. We've covered it live here. Azara, yes. So, Michelle, like, I don't have a way to post an image. Like, if I screenshot this, I don't have a way to post it into YouTube chat. My chart, like, it's live here with all of the levels. And then for people that are in Keenan's, it's posted in the calls and put chat. And then also posted in my my channel in Keenan's Discord. Okay. All right. It looks like all of the questions have been answered. For people that have access, on my community tab. I don't even know how to use that. Yeah, exactly. Like you can take a screenshot right now. BLC, we have classes on all that. Let me see. First thing first, I would read Volume Profile by Trader Dale and read Trading in the Zone by Trader Dale. Trading in the Zone by Mark Douglas. Once you've done that, let me find a video for you that goes over all of it. Sorry.
Why is Amazon
YouTube really quick here? YouTube does not make it easy for creators to grab links when they're live. Like I have to actually click on the video to get it. This is so BLC, the books that I mentioned are in the description of this video, so you can click on them there. But that video right there that I just linked, that will cover volume profile and trading psychology. That will tell you how to get, the levels on your chart like I use. Okay. So it looks like that's all of the questions. Anyway, I will say for anybody that's feeling, and again, this might sound silly, but feeling a little stressed out, it's normal with change. I'm feeling it too. However, with that said, I trust Keenan's vision, and I'm sure whatever it is that they're doing is going to be better for everyone in the long run, and I'm going to rock with it. Like I said, they did give me the option to have my my channel move back down with the other crown traders, but when they said Keenan specifically handpicked you, I said, okay, then I'm gonna follow whatever it is that his vision is, and I'm gonna do what he thinks is best. Even though, if I'm being like 100% transparent, which I do all the time, in this moment right now, I'm not totally happy about it, right? But with that said, I know that with time, I'm going to see the vision. It's going to make sense. And I know that I'll be good with the changes. But right now, today, I'm not loving it. So, but I gotta trust him, BLC. So my DMs are always open, right? I would prefer if you at me in one of the chats, preferably calls and puts, because that's kind of where I hang out. But the only reason that I say I would prefer if you at me in one of the regular text channels is because whatever question you have, somebody else probably has the same question, but they're too shy to ask it. And I would rather answer the question for several people versus just one. Michelle, if you can't see it clear, you need to change your settings on your video. Because if you push... Here, let me just do it live. I'm going to have to very quickly mute myself. So, if you're here, you click on settings, and quality, you would just change it to 1080p. And then everything should be clear or clear enough. Okay. With live streaming text, which a lot of what we're looking at is text, doesn't come out the best, but it should be clear enough if you're on 1080p. Yeah. Yeah, so I mean, to everybody, anybody, my DMs are always open if you have a question. Every once in a blue moon, I'll overlook a DM. Don't take it personal. I'm not ignoring you. If I don't get back to you within like a reasonable amount of time, and I would say a reasonable amount of time is like 12 hours to a day, send me another message. I'm not going to get annoyed or anything like that. Really, like for me, the worst thing possible would be for me to completely miss somebody's message. It's happened before where I've completely missed a DM, and I'll like 3 months later, for some reason, like they'll send me another message about something completely different. And I'm like, holy crap, I never replied to your message 3 months ago. And it bothers me because I feel like for 3 months that person must have thought that I was just ignoring them or didn't care to answer them. And that's not the person that I am. So if you're asking for Shorty's Discord, I already posted the link, but I can post it again. So anyway, just by any odd chance, if you ask for, or if you send me a DM and I don't get back to you in a reasonable amount of time, please send me another message. I promise you, I am not ignoring you. I promise you, it's not intentional. And if it was, for whatever reason, I was ignoring you, I would let you know, like, you know, that I'm not going to talk to you, basically. But that never happens. But I'm not somebody that would just ignore somebody. If there was a good reason that I was upset with you, I would just tell you to fuck off if you DM me. But that's not... again, that's really far and few between. So if you don't hear from me for whatever reason, please send another message. I promise you, I am not ignoring you, and it's not intentional. Okay? With that said, yeah, it's called Orbit. Yeah. Yes, Marcial, the classes are still going to be free on YouTube. Again, my YouTube is not changing. The only classes so far that are not free on my YouTube channel are the ones that I'm doing in Keenan's Discord. So like I did a class today. That's not publicly available because I'm doing it for Keenan's Discord, right? Yeah, but all the other classes are always going to be free on my YouTube channel. Okay? Oh, excuse me. Oh, yeah, so they're finally breaking through this. They'll probably break through, retest, and then go. And they're going to break over this level and go higher. Our poor high here at the top. So. Alrighty. It looks like I've answered everybody's questions. Again, feel free to at me, you know, in any of the voice channel or any of the text channels. If you have a question, or feel free to send me a DM. All right. Hopefully, I've answered everybody's questions to the best that I can about the changes. Again, I don't know too much more than you guys do. I'm not in that loop, so I don't really have more information than what I've shared with you. Big P, yes. Yeah. Nice, Alan. 20 points is awesome. I don't remember exactly when, but it's not the Dean's List. But Keenan started compensating. So I don't know who. I can't say who's being compensated, but I know that he's compensating his admins. I'm not sure about mods. And the crown traders are getting compensated as well. And so, you know, I don't want to talk about things that I shouldn't talk about, but, and I don't want to speak for anybody else, but, with, you know, what Keenan, again, I have no idea what he's paying admins. He told me it was pretty significant. I have no idea if he's paying moderators. And like just the money that he's putting into like crown traders. Like he was saying in the chat today, he's reinvesting a lot of what he's making into the Discord to improve it and make it better. And so like, compensating those people for their time is part of that money that he's reinvesting into the Discord server. Okay. So that's what it is. Anyway, with all of that said, much love, much respect to everybody. I hope you guys have a good rest of your evening, a good rest of your weekend. Like I said, for people, shorties, my mentor group, and for Keenan's doctorate tier, I will be trading live tomorrow. Hopefully we catch a few bangers. And for everybody else, I'll see you tomorrow evening when we do our next SPY update. All right. Much love, much respect to everybody. Peace out. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye.